Hockey's got a very rich tradition at Northwood. I was very fortunate enough in 2016, I was working in the UK in the hockey environment that side, and I was approached by Northwood to come and be director of hockey. Durban North, where we're based, is a very hockey-rich community. You know, we've developed that to a point now under the new director of hockey, Justin Collins. He's added a huge dimension to what we do, and we're really running with we call it the culture of Japan. Leave yourself, your environment, everyone else around you better than what you found it. And the matric group of 2018 was very instrumental in this room that we currently sat in developing the culture of Japan. The Japanese football team left handwritten notes with gift baskets and thank you notes for the Russian stadium organizers, cleaners. The Japanese fans helped clean the stadium, and the 2018 matric group came to me and said, "Sir, this is who we need to be." And it was amazing for me, having been at the school for 2 years by that point, to really see that the impact of becoming a better human that was the core of our hockey program.
So obviously this hockey room is a very special place to us. Northwood legacy, we want to live that through our playing capacity, and that's the value inside the shirt. And I think that's something I'm trying to work hard with the boys, is understanding the legacy left behind us. This room here that we're in at the moment, it's a tribute to all the old boys that have passed through these doors. It's about remembering those that have played in the jersey before us, and also trying to create a legacy for those that are going to play in it in the future. So this is our special place. This is where we live. This is where we do everything from our video to team talks, to obviously having chats on individual capacity, to better players in a special place. We do have the motto Japan that we work with here. For us, Japan means that we want to leave a place in a better place than we found it. That's not just from smiling and greeting people, but that's also from our environments and being nice to people on a daily basis. And I think that's important towards our legacy and what we're trying to achieve.
And you'll see up in our hockey room, there's actually a Japanese memorabilia that reminds us of who we are and the path that we walk to honor those that have walked before us.
So for us as hockey at Northwood, it's a massive part of it. And I think that's the reason that we're going to Friday Night Lights. Rugby's orientated around Saturdays, generally around South Africa. So we're trying to make a special place for hockey on a Friday night. And just with the depth of people coming to our school, it just shows that hockey's in a really good space at Northwood. We're trying to make sure that we give the boys as much exposure as possible and be process driven, not results driven, but at the same time being competitive with everything that we do.
We're pretty happy with how it's going overall as a program. We're still putting out incredibly healthy numbers from under 14A to around the F zone. 16 goes down past the G zone. We go into a social where the boys get to choose their own team names. If we put a letter to that, it probably goes to a J. And at the senior level, we're putting out 6. So a very, very healthy program.
My first team this year, we're very fortunate that we've got some really strong under-16s playing in our setup. The likes of Luke Boyle, Keegan Reeves, Caleb Phipson and Ryan Herselman are coming on tour. Really exciting prospect for South African hockey, those boys. And we're trying to find that balance correctly. But for us, we're in a building phase. Under-16s are knocking on the door at a rapid rate, but the rest of the boys are made up of matrics. So they've got a wealth of knowledge. They've done well in the previous years. So from our first team perspective, I think we're heading the right direction. And we've got the buy-in, and our team culture is in a really good place at the moment. We're very fortunate to have some really good mental conditioning coaches on board. Our strength and conditioning coaches, they really expose our boys to the next level of agility. And training with our pods and having pods on us all the time, it really pushes our game, and we obviously extend that to the next level. And we can see that we're measuring our training capacity to where we are in terms of our match intensity and trying to mirror those as closely as possible, and we're getting pretty close. So hopefully there's still good things to come, and we put plans in place to keep growing as a hockey department.
It's a young, talented, exciting group that might be exposed at certain key moments if that experience doesn't shine through. But the talent of these individuals and the younger boys do play above their age, and they've got some really talented, really strong leadership within the matric group. Captain Carl White is arguably one of the best schoolboy captains I've seen. He heads up our cricket program. He's done that from his grade 11 year already, and he really is the right man for the job. Surrounded by his leadership group, I really do feel that the boys we're going into Cares confident. We'll be having higher hopes and expectations for their results, but I think it's about the performance ultimately, and if the boys are playing to our process, playing to our structures, and what's been given to them from head coach Justin Collins, I really do feel the boys will have a successful Cares.
It's a sport that I love and I've got a real passion for. I've enjoyed every single moment of my life being here. The friendships that I've made, the memories that I've created on and off the sports field has been something that I'll remember for the rest of my life.
So we're about to climb on the buses and drive through to Cares Easter Festival. We always love going to Cares. We are so well hosted. The people around Kids are just, they're accommodating, they're wanting to go the extra mile. They're super well organized and obviously put plans in place. It's a highlight on our calendar. We obviously want to go back there and also fly the Northwood flag high. I think that's the most important thing, is that represent the Durban North community by playing well up at Cares. And we've had a really good pre-season, starting from the Founders Festival and obviously the other fixtures we played around that. Michael House played a really good game against us. Unfortunately, went down narrowly there, but we bounced back and we're on the right track we want to go. As I keep telling the boys as well, it's a journey. We're not there yet. We're putting stepping stones in place and we're starting small and trying to grow from step to step to obviously go bigger pictures. And this weekend's a good place to continue with that journey. And yes, you're always going to get hurdles along the way, but if we can make those minor hurdles and we keep bouncing back every time, I think we're in a good space. I'm very fortunate that we have Hyundai on board. They have been with us for the last 3 years. They have obviously looked after us in every capacity. We're very mindful in the society we live in that, costs are a real thing. And we are very fortunate that Hyundai jumped on board and they gave us 3 stars on an annual basis. Drive one of those vehicles, I really recommend it. It's next level. And the boys are very excited to go on tours because we travel in luxury. I think that's the most important thing. And our safety is obviously fore and foremost in those areas. So we are very fortunate with that. It's a brand that has been around for a long time. We're trying to also create a relationship. So it's not about us just taking, it's us also representing them well and giving them the most exposure that we can possibly do. It's not a one-way ticket, it's basically 2 ways to basically build each other up. And Hyundai is just doing that for us. They've been exceptional, the branding around the school and just trying to make the whole facility better. And it's massive credit to Hyundai.
It's been quite a long bus ride. At least the weather's a bit better here than it was in Durban. It's been nice.
The trip so far has been amazing. Riding in the amazing Starias, and then just the vibe in the buses has been super cool. Lots of conversations flowing in the air and some really cool music playing too.
Biggest challenge, probably adapting to the altitude. I know at Durban it's a lot easier to run around. When we went to Joburg a couple of weeks ago, it was a bit tougher on our lungs and stuff like that, so we got tired quickly. So adapting to that will probably be our toughest challenge.
One of the issues that we've found as a team recently in our recent fixtures is that often we concede a goal too early or we have a bad start. So I think one of the main things we need to focus on is having a good warm-up and taking that momentum into the first chunk of the game to make sure that we give us the best chance for the end of the game.
Especially with a long tournament, you got to get used to the guys around you. A lot of team morale will come into play, especially when the game situation gets quite tough. You've got to rely on each other and back each other to get you out of those tough situations.
It really means so much to us as a school to have our school name associated with such prestigious environments. It's a good old saying, out of sight, out of mind. If we aren't attending these festivals, you're just falling behind the other big programs that exist out there. So it's important for us as a school to be at them, and to be able to have someone like Hyundai, KZN really come into the party for us with the Starios and aligning with us as a hockey program gives us the opportunity to send these boys to these festivals and really give them the opportunities to be seen on a grander stage, to be playing against the best out of province teams. You know, the KZN circuit is a pretty tough one from a hockey perspective. There is no easy game, but then when you go out of province and you go and compete against equally like-minded, talented schools, it just gives the boys more exposure, and the opportunity to do that we're very grateful for.